I got some bad news for Tom Barrett, but good news for Wisconsin.
The Walker campaign didn't skip a beat, touting new positive jobs numbers in a new ad. It appeared just hours after the state released those new numbers.
These numbers are the unemployment insurance records of virtually all employers in the state of Wisconsin, approximately 160,000 employers.
So obviously a much more accurate reflection of what the job numbers were in 2011. I think that's good news, not just for me personally, but I think it's good news, as we mentioned, to the small business owners here, for employers who are looking to grow and expand in the state. One of the things they look at is what's happening to other businesses in this state.
Workforce Development Secretary Reggie Newsom tells News 3 while it's against past practice, he alone decided to release the numbers.
I did share my plan with the governor's office how I want to proceed.
Okay. So there was no directive to do this from the governor's office, but you did talk to the governor once these numbers became apparent to you. The Barrett campaign doesn't buy it.
And so here we are 20 days before an election, and he creates his own set of numbers that he wants us to believe.
The Milwaukee mayor says these numbers have never been used in the past and calls this move purely political.
This jobs report that he's putting out is really about one job, his job, because he knows that the public is now understanding that in 2011, under his leadership, Wisconsin lost more jobs than any other state in this entire country.
Because of the timing of the new ad that you saw, Democrats are accusing the governor's campaign of collaborating with workforce development and using taxpayer dollars for political gain. The party has filed a complaint with the Government Accountability Board and is asking Dane County's district attorney to look into this matter as well.
So is your head swimming in jobs numbers yet? Let's cut through the confusion. First, you should understand the difference between the jobs numbers released today by the administration and the monthly jobs figures.
The job ups and downs you hear about every month are based on a survey of 3.5% of Wisconsin businesses. The Federal Department of Labor calls a preset sample of companies and asks them how many people are employed. Those numbers are put into a formula that estimates preliminary jobs numbers for the state that can be revised later.
The monthly numbers are used across the country because they're the quickest way to get an economic picture of an area. It's an indicator the governor has relied on and touted before when it's to his benefit. You'll remember this press conference from July of last year.
The good news for us in the state of Wisconsin is in the month of June, we saw a net new job increase of 9,500 jobs. 9,500 jobs.
The figures released by the Walker administration now are called the Quarterly Census of Employment and Wages. These numbers are based on actual reports from more than 96% of businesses. They're reported quarterly or 4 times a year and are typically used to benchmark or adjust those monthly numbers.
So which numbers should you rely on, or which are more accurate? The monthly numbers come fast and they're as accurate as they can be at the time coming from a survey. Technically, the census data is the most complete picture of employment because it's an actual accounting of jobs.
So can the monthly jobs figures really be more than 57,000 jobs off? It's possible, but the difference is larger than it has been in the past. Since 2006, the numbers have been adjusted up or down, but never more than a percentage point. In this case, the change would be more than 2%.
A spokesman for the BLS tells me that these numbers could be off because the figures come from a survey. But you should know that this data has not been verified, nor is it typically released at this point. The Bureau of Labor Statistics would usually work with the state for about 30 days to verify and edit the data. Right now, they're scheduled to publish it on June 28th. I'm Jessica Arp with this News 3 Reality Check.
While Governor Walker's administration is sticking to these figures, the month-to-month numbers for April should be released tomorrow.
And there's another set of numbers we're following tonight. The latest Marquette Law School poll shows that Governor Scott Walker has a 6-point lead over Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett. The poll, conducted last week, surveyed more than 700 likely voters, and it has a margin of error of 4.1%. And now we're taking a look at the issue that's brought the recall to the forefront, the collective bargaining law. 50% of voters think that the collective bargaining law should remain intact, while 43% say that it should not. Pollster Charles Franklin says that while only 3% of voters are undecided, turnout will be the biggest thing to watch.
We know that there are some differences in turnout right now. Republicans seem to have an advantage. About 91% of Republicans say they're certain to vote 83% of Democrats and independents. So if Democrats and independents move up and get mobilized and got into the polls, that will help them.